Brother lads, welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal fixtures have been released for next season and it doesn't look good at the beginning of the season. However, we have a much better running for the title should we be in the title race by April and May. We have much better games as compared to last season. So what would you prefer? Would you prefer easy games to begin the season with or easy games to end the season with? That is number one. And secondly, what are Arsenal's real ambitions next season? Is it to win the Premier League or are we just... is it okay for us to finish second for a third season running as long as we don't allow any other team to come ahead of us apart from Manchester City? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. We're going to be running into these fixtures and I think the start is going to be really difficult, especially for a side that has not prepared well as compared to the last two seasons. Our new signings have not yet come in by this time in June. That's a little bit unfamiliar and peculiar, but also it is very weird that Arsenal are not even sure of 100% who is the main target, or at least we don't know who Arsenal's main targets are by this point in the transfer window. But that doesn't matter. What matters right now is what can Arsenal do with these fixtures. So the first three fixtures in August, we have Wolverhampton Wanderers on the 17th of August. That will be at home. That will be our opening fixture on Saturday. And I think that is okay. I've seen a few people saying that Wolves is a difficult game. Of course, they're a difficult game. They have a very stable manager, and I think this season they'll be looking to strengthen and they'll be looking to stabilize, kind of their core team. I don't see them as a threat to Arsenal. I think Arsenal can easily win that game. We are at the Emirates Stadium. Of course, we've always been at the Emirates Stadium at the beginning of the season, haven't we? I'm going to go with an Arsenal win there, 3-1. Possibly, I think. Listen, most of our players will be back. Kai Havertz will be back from the Euros. Saliba will be back from the Euros. I don't think that 17th of August, most of the players that have been at the Euros will still be having their rest. I think most of them will be back. So that is not a bad start. As compared to other clubs, I've seen Liverpool have Ipswich. I would really want to have Ipswich. I would really want to have Ipswich instead of Wolves. But also Wolves is not a bad start. Man City, who do Man City open with? Do they open with Chelsea? Do Man City open up with Chelsea? Probably. Yeah, I think Man City open up with Chelsea. So, yeah, that is not easy for them, right? But I've got to say it's a good start for Arsenal on the opening weekend. And then things don't become better after the opening weekend. We have Aston Villa away in the second weekend after Wolverhampton Wanderers. Last season, we beat Wolves home and away. Last season, we didn't beat Aston Villa in any of the fixtures. They beat us home and away. We didn't score a single goal against them. I think it's time for us to change that. Now, however much Villa are good and they have a good manager and they're under very good management in terms of the structure and the board. I think they've really done well in terms of signings ever since Emery came in. Arsenal must be able to beat the likes of Aston Villa home and away if we want to win the Premier League. I've said it before that the goal for Arsenal this season should be 90 points, but also going unbeaten. Because with Man City, you do not know what they're going to do. You don't know what they're capable of. You don't know what they're going to do in this window. You don't know how much they're going to spend. And you don't know how strong they're going to be next season. So if you have a chance to go unbeaten, like we almost did last season, in the last part of the season, you've got to go unbeaten. So for me, Aston Villa, difficult game. It's away from home. Second game of the campaign. It's a little bit nervy there, but you've got to win that game. I'm not even taking any excuses. To complete August, Arsenal will take on Brighton and Hove at the Emirates Stadium. Now this one, they've lost Dizabi. They're still trying to find rhythm with their new manager. I think their new manager is a 31-year-old guy from the second tier in German football. As he tries to work with the team, as he tries to find his way with his age mates, because most of the players there will be his age mates. He's 31. Most of the players at Brighton will be between 22 and 30. So these are his age mates. As he tries to find a new system, Arsenal are lucky that they are going to play Brighton earlier on. I think Brighton are going to be a bit like Bournemouth. Bournemouth earlier on in the season, they struggled. They had a new manager who had a few ideas that were new to the players. Of course, Andoni Iraola has got that Spanish identity and DNA. For him to inject that DNA in Bournemouth, it was always going to take some time. And I think that's what's going to happen with Brighton. The new manager here is a real good manager. But it's going to take them some time to learn the philosophy, and Arsenal must take advantage of that. Arsenal will win that game. No question about that. We should be able to beat Brighton. In September, our problems begin. Arsenal will play only three games in September. That is kind of a blessing in disguise, but then also that doesn't really speak very, very well in terms of the fixtures we have. We have Tottenham away. We have Man City away. Who the hell made these fixtures? Who the hell assembled these fixtures? Because if I catch them, if I get to see them, right, we would have a big fight. So Tottenham away, Man City away, and Leicester City at home. So September is not an easy month. I expect Arsenal to drop points there. I don't think we go to the Etihad and the White Hart Lane and pick up maximum points. Actually, I'm gonna say Arsenal don't win any of these two games. I think Tottenham will start the season strongly. Most of their players will be back. They suffered a couple of injuries last season, and Ange Postecoglou talked about it. I think this season they will bring in more new signings that fit the system that Ange Postecoglou is playing, and they will be dangerous at the beginning of the campaign. So I'm going to say Arsenal draw against Tottenham 2-2, and we lose to Man City 3-1. That would be my earlier reaction to September. Leicester City, however much they've done very well, they've lost their manager in Enzo Maresca. I don't expect them to pose a big problem to Arsenal, so we should be able to get rid of them as quickly as possible. In October, Arsenal still have 3 games. I don't know why we have 3 games each month, and then we're going to have a lot of games in November and a lot of games in December. It is purely despicable. It's purely, disgusting that you have few games in the opening three months, and then you're playing 7 games in December and 7 games in November. But in October, Arsenal will take on Southampton at home. Arsenal will take on Bournemouth away, and Arsenal will take on Liverpool at home. I expect maximum points in October. I think Ancelot's Liverpool is going to take them some time to really find out how they're going to play. And I think with Ancelot, the one thing he doesn't have that the likes of Maresca are having, that the likes of Eric Ten Hag are having, is this summer Ten Hag could do 6 signings or even 5 signings. Maresca could do 5 signings. He might bring in the players he wants as a manager. With Ancelot, Liverpool have already been set. You look at that midfield, it's a new midfield. They were just bought last summer. The defense, I don't think is going to change much. And also in terms of attack, it's not going to change much as well. So he's going to need to adapt to the Liverpool side, and the Liverpool side are going to have to adapt to him. During that period, Arsenal should be able to really do a job against Liverpool at home. Bournemouth and Southampton, those are games you've got to win if you want to tell us that you are part of the title race. November, that is when the fixtures now start coming in. Absolutely disgusting. Arsenal will play 4 games in November, and none of them are easy games. After Liverpool, in October, Arsenal will play Newcastle away, Chelsea away, Nottingham Forest at home, and West Ham away. So we are literally talking about Arsenal having 3 away games to Chelsea, to Newcastle, and to West Ham in November. That is not an easy month. That is not an easy set of fixtures. And I'm going to say Arsenal beat Newcastle away, Arsenal draw to Chelsea away, and Arsenal beat Nottingham Forest at home, and we draw at West Ham away. I have a very bad feeling about West Ham. They always do something to Arsenal. They always do something to Arsenal. Last season, we beat them 6-0 away. They beat us at the Emirates. Like, what really went wrong in that game? So I think in November, the Black November, Arsenal will struggle. Arsenal will struggle. I think we drop points in 2 games, Chelsea and West Ham. And I think we beat Newcastle, and I think we beat Nottingham Forest. Again, that is not a bad. Those are not bad fixtures. It's just that you have 3 fixtures away in 1 month. After that, December, Arsenal take on Manchester United at home. Not easy, but we can pick up a point. Not a point, by 3 points. Arsenal take on Fulham away. Beat them. Arsenal take on Everton at home. Must win. Crystal Palace away, must win. Ipswich at home, must win. Brentford away, must win. In December, Arsenal have a total of 6 fixtures, and I expect Arsenal to win 6/6. 6/6. 100%. I expect us to win 6/6 in December. Now, obviously, there will be some tired legs out there. We'll have a couple of injuries probably by this point in time, and we might need to rotate, right? And this is where you're having to spin around. Okay, right? Okay, but I expect Arsenal to win every fixture in December. I'm not changing my mind. January, we do the turnaround. That is where we go back to starting the second legs. January, we have Brighton away, Tottenham Hotspur home, Aston Villa at home, Wolverhampton Wanderers away. Wow. Brighton, they had a very bad season last season for me, as compared to the previous season before that. I think Brighton by this time, they will have found their rhythm, right? They'll have found their rhythm under the new manager. So that will be a difficult fixture away. Tottenham Hotspur at home, you win this one. Aston Villa at home, you win this one. Wolves away, you win this one. I think we win every game we win every game in January. I'm not going to say Arsenal drop points in January. We win every game in January. February, that's when we take on Man City at home. That's a draw. Leicester City away, that's a win. West Ham at home, that's a win. Nottingham Forest at home, away, that's a win. In March, we only have 2 games. That is Manchester United away. I don't think we win that. Chelsea at home, we win that. So in March, 2 games. I think we draw against Man United and we beat Chelsea at our own ground. This is now the title running. So last season, the title running was very important because Man City got the edge over Liverpool and Arsenal in the title running. They've always got the edge over us in the title running, and you've got to give them the credit that they deserve. This Arsenal team have to make sure of 1 or 2 things. 1, we have to make sure that by the time we go into April, into the title running, Arsenal are at least 5 points above Man City. If we go into the title running in April and Man City are within 3 points reach from Arsenal, or Man City are above Arsenal, or we are on the same level of points, it's over. City are champions, right? And this season, I'm not predicting Arsenal as my favorites to win the title. They are not. I'm not predicting them as my title favorites. Not this season. I predicted Arsenal for the last season. We didn't take a chance. This season, honestly, Arsenal are not my title favorites. They're not my title favorites. So in April, Arsenal will play very many games, and of course, in April you have 5 fixtures, but you also have UEFA Champions League there if we are still in it, and you also still have. By this time, I think you still have the FA Cup if you are still in it, right? So you have Fulham at home, you win that. Everton away, there's no way you go to the Goodson Park and win this with Champions League. In there. Brentford at home, you win that. Ipswich away, you win that. Crystal Palace at home, you win that. I think the game we will not win here will be Everton away at the Goodson. In the title running, we saw what Everton did to Liverpool last season. May, the last part of the season, Bournemouth at home, you win that. Liverpool away. That's not a win. That's not a win for Arsenal. Newcastle at home, you win that, and Southampton away, you win that. So I think in the title running between April and May, Arsenal will lose to Liverpool, and we will draw against Everton. I don't see us win each and every game in the title running. Overall, my overall summation is this: Arsenal have good fixtures. Difficult fixtures, obviously, but good fixtures in terms of arrangement. I just don't see ourselves as champions. I just don't see ourselves as title favorites. I look at ourselves as challengers for the title, but not as favorites, right? So if we finish second, I don't think I'll be disappointed. So the fixtures are not bad for a club that I tip to finish second to Man City.